Lily May had beautiful teeth. Every night she would go up the stairs and brush her teeth with a big shining smile. She would do it all by herself. She would turn the tap on, put the toothpaste on the brush. Her reward was her shiny teeth as she smiled in the mirror, her reflection smiling back with glee. Until one day, Lily May was brushing her teeth ready for bed like normal, until she heard a little clink in the sink. "Mum! Mum! Mum!" Lily May screamed as she rushed down the stairs, streams of tears rushing down her face. "What's the matter, darling?" her mother replied. "Mum, look!" Lily May lifted her hands towards her mum. In her hands laid Lily's tooth. "Your tooth fell out?" said Mum with a smile. Lily May stood there confused. Why did her mum seem so happy about this? This is hardly a time for jokes. "But Mum, you said if I brushed my teeth, then my teeth wouldn't fall out," exclaimed Lily May, with an angry look on her face, praying that her mum wasn't lying about the importance of brushing your teeth. "Oh, Lily, heavens no! This is your baby tooth," her mother explained. "It was meant to fall out. If you put it under your pillow tonight, all sorts of good things will come to you." "Like what?" said Lily, with even more confusion on her face than before. "Well, if you wrap that tooth and leave it under the pillow tonight, the tooth fairy will pay you a visit." "The tooth fairy?" Lily May said. "What on earth is a tooth fairy?" "You've never heard of the tooth fairy? The tooth fairy collects teeth to build a tooth fairy kingdom. There are hundreds of tooth fairies that fly all over the world, replacing teeth with a big, shiny coin." "Wow!" Well, Lily May heard enough. She trotted back up those stairs. She wrapped the tooth in a little bit of tissue and tried desperately to sleep. Hours passed, but Lily was just too excited to sleep. But how could she? In a matter of a few moments, the tooth fairy will be putting a big, shiny coin under her pillow. What with all the excitement in the air, there's no time to sleep. Until, out of Lily May's bedroom window, a mysterious glow appears in the distance. This glow gets closer and closer and closer. "What's that?" whispered Lily May to herself. "Is it the sun crashing into the earth? Or perhaps an aeroplane dropping from the sky at pace? A UFO, perhaps?" As the glow got closer and closer and closer, it began to slow down, and in the centre of this glow was a small human with wings. "The tooth fairy!" Lily May whispered with excitement and clambered back into bed as she pretended to be asleep. Well, she knew that if the tooth fairy knew she was awake, she wouldn't leave anything. A moment passed. Silence. All you can hear is Lily May's heavy breathing as she waits with excitement. After a moment or two, Lily May hears a small sound. A tiny person struggling. She clenches her eyes and shuts them tighter than she has ever shut her eyes before. Hovering over Lily May was the tooth fairy, with a beautiful turquoise dress and glass shoes, carrying a brown sack for her coins and the teeth, short blonde hair and a glow that could light up the night sky. Lily could feel her wings flap near her face. She continued to pretend to be asleep. What happens next is unclear, with Lily having her eyes closed and the tooth fairy being an obvious professional. We weren't sure. But as Lily May hears the sound of the Tooth Fairy flapping away, she opens her eyes the tiniest bit to get a glimpse of her up close. For that split second, she opened her eyes. Lily May sees something drop out of her side pouch as the Tooth Fairy flies into the distance. "My tooth!" Lily May exclaimed in sheer panic. The Tooth Fairy dropped her lovely, white, shiny tooth. Without hesitation, Lily May threw her coat over her pyjamas, slipped on some red Wellington boots, wrapped the tooth in another bit of tissue and sneaked out the front door. Her parents? None the wiser. Upon stepping outside, she finds herself in a deep, dark, gloomy wood. The only light she can see is the light radiating from the Tooth Fairy. "I'm not scared. I'm not scared," Lily May had to remind herself. Until one moment that changed her life forever. A rustle in the bushes. Lily May stops. The only noise is coming from the loud sound of her panicking breath. She takes one step forward, snap! Onto a twig. Lily May begins to cry. "Ah, a human!" said the voice coming from the bush. Lily May stops crying in confusion, when out steps from the bush a large bear wearing a top hat and tailcoat. Well, Lily May doesn't know whether to laugh or to cry. You're not going to hurt me, are you, Mrs. Human?" the bear said while shivering with fear. "Hurt you? Why would I hurt you?" replied Lily May. "Well, why else are you in my house?" "Your house?" Lily May replied. Lily May looked around and saw nothing but a dark, gloomy forest surrounded by oak trees. I'm sorry," said Lily May. "I was following the bright glow. Did you see it?" "Bright glow?" said the bear with confusion on his face. "Oh, you mean Miss Fairy, the Tooth Fairy. She always flies through here. She is lovely. I can take you to her house if you want." "Oh, yes, please," exclaimed Lily May. So, they set off. The bear went first, followed closely by Lily May. They walked for hours through the night. The sun is just about to rise as they walk through the rain, sun, snow. Eventually, they reach a large hill. "Just over there," said the bear. Lily May believed it. She saw a large luminescent glow towering over this hill. They climbed, peered over the edge, and saw a ginormous Tooth Fairy kingdom. All the houses and the shops, and the schools and the restaurants were all made from teeth. And thousands of fairies roamed around their Tooth Fairy society. They walk through this town of shiny teeth until they reach the huge Tooth Castle. "It's me, Timmy Bear. I'm here to see the Tooth Fairy," the bear said to the Tooth Castle guard. "I'm sorry," the castle guard replied. "The Tooth Fairy isn't taking any visitors at the minute. But it's me, Timothy Bear. We're good friends. Tell her it's Timothy Bear," the bear said to the Tooth Castle guard. "I can't do that, Timothy. She has lost a very important tooth that she picked up last night. She's not seeing anybody." Well, Lily May's ears twitched. "That's my tooth. She lost my tooth. I have it here, look." Lily May lifts up the tooth so the guard can see it. "Well, why didn't you say so? Go on in, Miss Fairy will be delighted." Lily May's face lights up as the guard leads both Lily May and the bear. All three of them walk into a large room within the castle made of teeth. The floor was made of teeth, The walls were made of teeth. Even the paintings on the wall were made of teeth. With fairy maids flying around the room with toothbrushes, scrubbing every last one to make them look nice and shiny. In the centre of this large room sat a fairy, crying on a stump, in quite a bit of distress. Miss Fairy, said Lily May. I can't believe it! I lost it! The tooth! I had a hole in my bag, and when I got back, nothing was there! But Miss Fairy, the bear interrupted. It was the last one! The last one I needed, and I lost it! Miss Fairy! The Tooth Fairy sat silent. Lily May goes in her pocket, pulls out a bit of tissue and presents it to the Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy jumps in surprise. You brought it! You actually brought it! But how did you find this place? Well, with a little help from Timothy Bear, of course, replied Lily May. The Tooth Fairy looked to see a very proud Timothy Bear standing next to Lily May. Oh, thank you so much, Timothy Bear! The Tooth Fairy flew to him and scratched him behind the ear. Timothy Bear always liked a good scratch behind the ear. Miss Fairy, what did you mean that it's the last one? Questioned Lily May. Were all the teeth going out of existence? Well, when you lose a tooth, I collect it and give it to the townspeople to build for their houses and their schools. But when you lose your first tooth, as you did last night, I use it to build my castle, and I have one gap over there in the corner. Timothy Bear and Lily May look to the corner of the room and see a tooth-sized hole in one of the portraits of the Tooth Fairy. Lily May, would you like to do the honours? Well, Lily May was honoured. She slowly walks up to the hole in the portrait and carefully places the missing tooth into its rightful place in the portrait. Lily May looks up at the completed portrait with pride. Lily May, Timothy Bear, thank you, the Tooth Fairy said. Without you, I don't know how long it would have taken me to complete my castle. I shall grant you one wish each. Ooh, I know. I really want a new top hat and tail. These ones are getting too old and tattered. The bear wasn't wrong. So the Tooth Fairy waved her hands up and down, and sparks flew from her hands. Then, with one touch, the bear found himself wearing new robes of white and gold, with the grandest top hat in the kingdom. The bear pranced with joy at his new garments, delivering a little dance in the centre of the kingdom. The Tooth Fairy turned to Lily May. And for you, Lily May? Well, Lily May expressed. You're here without your parents' permission, aren't you? Lily May nods with disappointment in her eyes. She knew she shouldn't have run off all by herself. Does this mean I don't get my wish? She said. Lily May, we all do bad things from time to time. That's not what makes us who we are. Who we are is determined by how we mend our mistakes, not by how many mistakes we make. Lily May looked up at the Tooth Fairy, who was looking down with pride. Miss Fairy, my wish is for you to return me home, safely. The Tooth Fairy looked at Lily May and smiled. Close your eyes, Lily May, said the Tooth Fairy. Now, I want you to count to 5, and then open them. Lily May did as instructed, not fully understanding what she was doing. But she counted to 5 anyway, and then open! She was back in her room. She rushed to the window to see a luminescent glow slowly getting smaller in the distance. She then rushes to her bedroom pillow to find a big, fat, shiny gold coin under her pillow. She always wondered when she will next see Timothy Bear again. Hopefully sometime soon. Lily May never forgot what the Tooth Fairy told her, and it turned her into a much better person.